Hello my friends, how are y'all doing out there? It's good to see you for yet another video. So the battle rages on between Donald Trump and Elon Musk. I gotta be honest, I kind of wish this wasn't the big news right now, but it is. It's what's going on. We've got two billionaires fighting that are causing the market to lose billions of dollars in Tesla stocks, in Trump stocks, in Trump meme coins. And it's cool when billionaires lose a lot of money. Don't get me wrong, I'm all for that. So it's just what's dominating the news right now, but there was a part of it that really stood out to me that I want to talk about today. And that is Elon Musk calling for Donald Trump's impeachment and removal to be replaced by, of course, JD Vance. And we definitely have to talk about that because that is an interesting scenario going on. And we're going to explore, does Elon Musk really have the power to do this? Is this really a great idea because JD Vance is kind of a lunatic himself? Well, we'll talk about it and we'll see what I think as we go through the course of this video. So as we know, Donald Trump has this sort of death grip over the Republican Party. And the reason he has that is basically because Trump supporters are fucking lunatics. These are absolutely insane people that really don't have a grasp on politics at all. Everything Donald Trump says are things that sound nice to people that don't understand politics even a little bit. So Donald Trump says these things and gets people to vote for him. And we end up with this is going to sound harsh because it is an extremely uneducated voter base that turns out to vote for Donald Trump based on just absolute nonsense if you know even a little bit about politics. Like, for example, he ran his first campaign on lock her up. We're going to lock Hillary up because he kept calling her a criminal. And look, there's politicians that do a lot of shady things, of course. But Hillary sat through all her hearings having to do with Benghazi and whatever it was with her private server. I don't really know. I got to be honest, I didn't follow politics that much then. But, you know, you got the far right-wing Fox News ecosystem, the propaganda network over there, the state media, telling people that we need to lock her up. And it gave people this enemy, right? This enemy that was the person that was ruining their life. Now, when you think about the Trump base and who they are, they're just like Donald Trump, a bunch of people that make excuses for why they didn't do what they wanted to do. And they need a person to blame, a scapegoat for all of these things. It was Hillary Clinton in that moment. It's frequently been the Mexicans. You know, the Mexicans are the problem. It's been DEI hires. They've been the problem, of course. I say all that to say that the Trump base is a bunch of uneducated lunatics that do not understand even a little bit how politics work. They're the same people that fall for it when Donald Trump says, we're going to send you a $5,000 Doge check. That's not happening. It's not coming. For one, Doge didn't save anywhere near enough money to send every American $5,000. That didn't happen. The same steelworkers that fell for it when Donald Trump said that he was going to give the steelworkers a $5,000 bonus. We've got two groups of people that are possibly overlapping groups that have not seen even a little bit, not even a penny of that money yet, but they're still cheering for it like they did get that fucking money, like it actually exists. Unfortunately, the Republican agenda for years has been to keep Americans stupid because that's the only way that a Republican wins an election. If you're at least a little bit informed about politics, you know that the Republican agenda is extremely destructive unless you're already a millionaire or billionaire. It does nothing for the working class of America. So I say all that because when Donald Trump started running for politics, he just started saying incredibly stupid shit that was impossible to do and didn't make any fucking sense whatsoever. And then because we have a bunch of people that don't know the inner workings of government, cause and effect, how the things we do works domestically and globally, they went, fuck yeah, sign me up for all this dumb shit that doesn't make any fucking sense. And it caused Donald Trump to sort of have this cult-like following. Of course, there's the underlying racism and and sexism and everything else that goes along with it. I said underlying, but I don't know that it's necessarily underlying. It's out in the open, at least since Elon started doing Nazi salutes at Donald Trump's inauguration. It's all out in the open. Basically, they're a hateful, spiteful, fucking stupid group of people, and it caused Donald Trump to sort of have this death grip on the entire Republican Party, and that's why you end up with Republican elected politicians that basically got neutered by Donald Trump. They aren't able to stand up for themselves. They're cowards, and I've said it before, but this will go down in history as the most cowardly generation of politicians in American history. These are spineless fucking wimps that will not stand up for the American people because they're afraid that if they do, they will be voted out of their job. And getting voted out for doing the right thing isn't the worst fucking thing that's ever happened to our country. So yeah, they're just spineless fucking dorks, right? And that's why Donald Trump's had the hold he's had on the Republican Party. We've got Lindsey Graham talking years ago that if Donald Trump wins the nomination, that will sink the Republican Party and the Republicans will have deserved it at this point. And now Lindsey Graham has a face full of Donald Trump pee-pee every time he gets the chance. Every once in a while, Lindsey Graham's adorable, isn't he? He tries to act tough, and I'm going to stand up to Donald Trump, his little chubby fist all balled up. He's such a tough guy, isn't he? And then, minutes later, he's back to, kissing the ring or whatever it is that he does. Lindsey Graham's a fucking coward, and that's the facts. Josh Hawley trying to talk a big game right now, trying to be a tough guy, how he's going to stand up to the big, beautiful bill. Same Josh Hawley that threw his fist up in solidarity with insurrectionists. Then when the insurrectionists burst through the door, Josh Hawley was the first one to run like a bitch when he saw that coming. They're all cowards, right? They all bow down to Donald Trump. That's the reason we are where we are. So fast forward to now, the big breakup between Donald Trump and Elon Musk has Elon Musk calling for Donald Trump's not only impeachment, but removal. That's a thing that the general population of America leaves out. Donald Trump's already been impeached twice. It amounted to fuck all. It didn't do anything. As a matter of fact, it empowered him with his incredibly stupid base that is convinced that the Department of Justice and other politicians are out to get Donald Trump. It couldn't be because Donald Trump's a criminal and keeps breaking laws, now could it? It's just because they're out to get him. Donald Trump is always the victim now, isn't he? But it requires that, of course, he's got to be impeached in the House first, and then it goes over to Senate where he has to be convicted. Oh, I should have looked this up now. I just sound like another uneducated American, but I believe it's a 2/3 vote in the Senate for the president to be convicted, which they should have done at very least when Donald Trump was running an insurrection on the country. A lot of people say that wouldn't have done anything because he was leaving office anyways, but it would have prevented him from running again. He's an insurrectionist. He's been convicted. Fuck him. He's out. It was bad enough when he tried to blackmail, or not, I don't even think blackmail's the word, but sort of strong arm Zelensky and Ukraine into giving up fake dirt on not Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, sorry, I gotta find the words sometimes, and threatened to withhold aid to them if they didn't give up that information. That was the first time that he was impeached, remember? And then the second time when he was an insurrectionist, spineless Republicans did not stand up for America then. So Elon Musk is asking for his impeachment and a removal, and it puts us in a very interesting scenario because as much as our politicians are cowards and bow down to Donald Trump, what they like more than that is money. I don't know how much money Elon Musk has right now because Elon Musk has lost a lot of money in the Tesla stock collapse, basically. It's not down enough, that's for damn sure. And Donald Trump is threatening to pull his government contracts, which could potentially actually lead to the bankruptcy of Elon Musk. Now, I hear it from people all the time, none of this matters, he's already got all of our data. That may be true. I'm not really sure. It definitely could be that is a fact. But Elon Musk still has a ton of money, more money than God probably, and has the ability to primary people, has the ability to get them voted out of their jobs. And this is where we're going to see a huge clash, and I hope to a point that Elon Musk means it. That if they do not step up and impeach Donald Trump and remove Donald Trump, then he is going to start primarying Republican politicians that don't do the right thing. It's still the right thing, but not for Elon Musk reasons. Elon Musk is just being a whiny little baby and that isn't getting his way, and that's why he wants it done. Well, the majority of Americans that don't have their head up their ass want it done because Donald Trump's a criminal. He's running a criminal organization from the White House, and we know that to be fact because he's taking bribes from other countries in the form of $400 million airplanes. Can you believe it? It's fucking insane. And he wants JD Vance in there. Now, I don't know that Elon Musk actually has enough power to do this, but if anybody has the power to do it, it would be Elon Musk. So I hope that he's serious. I hope that he starts pressuring Republicans to get on board with it and impeach and remove Donald Trump. But it gets interesting after that because he says install JD Vance. Of course, that's the next logical order. I need a drink of water, my friends. Give me a second. That's better. That's better. I was about to start coughing on the video again. So anyways, what we need to know about JD Vance is he's a fucking psychopath. This boy is not right. There is something fucked up in JD Vance's head as he has lost his ever-loving mind. Remember, it wasn't that long ago that JD Vance referred to Donald Trump as America's Hitler. And then JD Vance, as soon as he saw his opportunity to bow down and kiss the ring, JD Vance 100% took that opportunity. Don't forget that, I mean, what I mean by that, I don't forget, JD Vance is a spineless coward also. So he gave us that little window where he appeared to stand up to Donald Trump. And that's long gone. But JD Vance is an odd fucking fella. He's very, very strange. There is something going on with this dude. I referenced it in a recent video, but we don't hear anything about JD Vance. He has basically disappeared from the entire thing for the most part. I mean, he showed up to bully Zelensky. He felt like a big man doing that. And he showed up to kill the Pope. And he showed up to start a war. It was between India. Let me see if I can Google that real quick. I'm actually sitting in front of a computer. Between India and Pakistan. Yeah, India and Pakistan. He started a war between them, and then he disappeared into the fucking shadows again. So the problem I have with this is I don't know that JD Vance is like a safe bet for any of us. He's a fucking psycho. He's a lunatic. And he is definitely drunk on all the power that he's gotten. And I wonder what could happen if JD Vance was given that kind of power. What absolutely psychotic shit he would do. And one of the things I worry about is we know about JD Vance's close ties with the app Acre Trader that has a huge interest in America's farmers going bankrupt so that they can treat America's farmland like it's the stock market and trade that shit probably to foreign entities that will slowly take over America's farmland because JD Vance don't give a fuck about a farmer in America. JD Vance gives a fuck about making him more and more money. So JD Vance is a fucking lunatic, and I obviously wouldn't want him to be the president of the United States. And when I compare him to Donald Trump, I cannot figure out which one's the lesser of two evils. And I have a pretty good idea, and we'll get to that in just a minute. But the thing about Donald Trump is he breaks the law in the open. He's very brazen about all the fucking things that he does, and we know what Donald Trump is up to because he brags about it. He brags about the crimes that he fucking commits right there for all of us to see. JD Vance seems like a shady motherfucker that would do this all, you know, not out in the open, sort of in the shadows, so we wouldn't know what exactly is going on. But when I think about it, because I spent the night thinking about this, my conclusion is that I 100% support this idea. And I hope that Elon Musk actually has the pull to do it. Also, on that note, I want to be clear, I'm not taking sides on this because these two assholes are going to destroy each other, but they're going to destroy a lot of people in the process. You know, there's talk about deporting Elon Musk. And I think it was Bernie Sanders that said, why not both? Why not not both? We're America, baby. We can do anything. We can do both of these fucking things. We can definitely deport Elon Musk, and we can definitely impeach and remove Donald Trump. The conclusion I came to is JD Vance would be the better decision. That would be better overall for Americans. Look, we can bully the shit out of JD Vance. We can run with the couch fucker meme, like, till the cows come home, baby. We can run with that for sure, but we can expose his shady dealings that he's embarrassed of, the things he don't want to talk about. We can definitely hammer home the fact that he's so involved with Acre Trader and he's got an interest in bankrupting America's farmers. But the biggest thing here is nobody else in the world is Donald Trump. Nobody else can get the cult-like following that Donald Trump gets. It's an interesting thing because Donald Trump can just pop off at the fucking mouth, do absolutely nothing, actually make the lives of his followers harder, more difficult, and still get away with it. He was not fucking lying when he said he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and get away with it. When people were talking about him being in the Epstein files as his Achilles heel, I strongly fucking disagree. I don't think it'll affect him at all. Trump supporters will start talking about how they support pedophiles and they think it's a great thing. If there's proof that he's in the Epstein files, they will turn on a fucking dime and try to normalize it. As a matter of fact, it's fucking terrifying the pull this man has over weak-minded fucking Americans. JD Vance would never pull that off. Ever. I think we could make him cry. As president of the United States, I think we could bring him to fucking tears in front of everyone, to the point that he might actually resign his position. So when you think about all of that and how he doesn't have the pull Donald Trump has, I say do it. I say let's fucking do it. And then it's up to us, the people of America, to ridicule JD Vance and expose who he really is, to the point that he cries and he resigns and all that. But we've got an interesting dynamic here because the whole MAGA movement is so incredibly fractured right now. And this is the time to strike if we're going to do something like that. They can't decide, am I going with Elon? They can't decide which one of their parents are going to live with after the divorce. It's what's going on here. Do I go with Elon? Do I go with Donald? Elon's got all that fucking money, but he makes those super gay electric cars. We hate that. But he did do the Nazi salute, and we love that. And we just don't know which way to go with all of these things. Donald Trump... well, he's our Messiah. He's our Messiah. But they're incredibly fractured right now. Even the Republican politicians, you can tell, aren't sure which way to go. Do they stick to their loyalty with Donald Trump, or do they follow the money of Elon Musk? And that is a tough decision for them to make. Elon's right in this situation. This is the time to strike. This is the time for rich people to buy the votes from the politicians to convict Donald Trump. This is the corrupt America we live in, my friends. And at least then, we may stand a chance in fighting back with an incredibly fractured base that will definitely be involved in a ton of infighting. JD Vance straight up does not have the pull that Donald Trump has. And no politician will. Even Donald Trump Jr. would not be able to pull off what Donald Trump has done. So my final conclusion is I'm all for it. I think we should fucking do it. And deport Elon Musk. Those two things should 100% happen. That's my take on it. I would say I got to get back to work, but I'm just sitting around the house for now. Love you guys. Bye now.